in the aftermath of that
of
Operation
Eagle
Eagle
Claw,
Claw.
that we had our own aviation element, and then we got helicopters in like the CH-47s, and then eventually we went to the Black Hawks, and all these helicopters are air refuelable.
Yeah, now they are.
But before they weren't, we didn't have any air refuelable.
Man.
So yeah. And so that was developed out of that. So
A lot of stuff changed after that.
right. And then, of course, Operation Urgent Fury Grenada happened.
Yeah. When did they actually get the hostages out of there? What year was that? Do you remember?
That was January 20th, 1981.
1981. So they were
400
hostages for
444 days.
What did we trade for them? Was it like
I think it was just Ronald Reagan threatened he just threatened I don't know, Nix to declare war.
yeah.
He wasn't going to fool with this.
You're going to release our people or we're going to come after you hard.
Yeah, we're going to, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a very stern. People believed him too.
Yeah.
I remember my mom saying stories about how like everyone in America was convinced that he was ready to launch the nukes if the Russians or anybody else were trying to do anything.
Yeah.
Which that was, that's an intimidation factor. But either way, I'm glad that they finally got them out of there. But
right.
yeah, you're saying after the Iranian hostage rescue attempt, you came back to the States. How long were you in the States for before Operation Urgent Fury kicked off?
That was in October 25, 1983.
Okay, so basically a year after the hostages were released from Iran,
Yeah,
roughly.
yeah, year and a half.
Year and a half, yeah. And where were you stationed at that point?
Well, I was still in B Squadron, but I was out with the mountain team, two mountain teams, doing rock climbing out in Washington State. We were climbing.
Back in Washington?
I was back in Washington again.
Okay.
Maybe I shouldn't be allowed to go to Washington. So we were climbing at, Castle Rock, Index, different places around the town of Leavenworth, Washington.
Yeah.
So we're doing rock climbing there. And then we got the call not to go out that day, to stay at the hotel. And then they says, get on commercial aircraft and come back. To
the farm?
Yeah, well, we went to Camp McCall.
Okay.
And landed Camp McCall.